Dear viewers, welcome to Tell It As It Is TV. We'll be bringing you ancient and modern true life stories with graphic images.
Please note that characters and some environs are fictional.
A story owner, they say, tells it better than the storyteller. The next voice you will hear is that of Tandy.
My name is Tandy and I'm 24 years old. My mother's name is Tobeka. She is 40 years old. My mother is 16 years older than me, as she had me when she was 16. We are like sisters. We are best friends. And so we are very close, as I'm her only child, just like she is an only child of her parents. I never imagined my life would take such a dark turn. Mom and I had a close bond, but everything changed when we unknowingly started dating the same man. It began innocently enough, with me excitedly sharing details of my new relationship with her. One afternoon, my mom was watching TV when I came home with all excitement, and I started telling my mom about Tumelo, whom I met that day. He's so charming and attentive. It's like he knows exactly what I need. Sounds like a keeper, sweetheart. Just be careful and take your time. I've met someone special too. He's different from anyone I've ever known, my mom added. I smiled, happy for her. Little did I know that our worlds were about to collide in the most devastating way. I noticed strange things over the next few weeks. My boyfriend's phone would buzz late at night. Most times I'd pass by his place at night, and he'd be secretive about his messages. One night, as I watched a movie with my mom, her phone started buzzing too. Mom, who keeps messaging you so late at night? I asked inquisitively. Oh, just a friend, Tandy. You know how it is. A knot of unease settled in my stomach, but I brushed it off, trusting her implicity. One evening, I walked into a restaurant, excited for a surprise date. But what I saw froze me in my tracks. Mom was sitting at the same table with my boyfriend, laughing and lost in romance. Mom, what are you doing here with him? Tandy, meet my boyfriend. His name is Tumelo. I felt the world shatter around me. How could this be happening? The betrayal cut deep, and I couldn't hold my anger back. I went straight to him and turned the table upside down, throwing the food and drinks that they've ordered all over his body. My mom gave me a smack and we fought dirty at the restaurant. After, we were separated by management and customers. Tumelo was nowhere to be found in the environment. He fled from the scene, unknowingly, to me and my mom. The confrontation erupted the next morning. I didn't even greet my mom. Neither did I apologize to her. You knew I was seeing him, Mom. How could you do this to me? I didn't know, Tandy. He lied to both of us. We should be angry at him, not at each other. Her words stung, but I couldn't see past my rage. The man who had charmed us both had driven a wedge between us, and we were both too blind to see the truth. Days turned into weeks, and the tension only grew further. One night, the argument reached its peak. I was seething with anger, feeling betrayed and hurt. You never cared about me, Mom. You were always too busy with your own life. That's not true, Tandy. I've always loved you, but we need to face the real problem here. In a fit of uncontrollable rage, I grabbed a vase and hurled it at her. She fell, and I knew immediately something was horribly wrong. The vase hit her forehead, her head broken, as the blood splattered on the tiles. Mom, no, I didn't mean to. I rushed to her side, but it was too late. The realization of what I've done hit me like a tidal wave. I was consumed by panic and guilt. The police arrived soon after. A neighbor must have heard the commotion and called them. I was still kneeling by Mother's side, sobbing uncontrollably when they entered the house. They ordered me to step aside from my mother's dead body. Please, she needs help. I didn't mean to hurt her. They placed me in handcuffs and led me out of the house. The flashing lights and the stares of neighbors burned into my memory. The trial was a nightmare. The prosecution painted me as a cold-blooded killer, while my defense tried to argue it was an accident born out of a heated argument. But the prosecutor is headstrong that it was not a mere accident, that I was driven by jealousy and rage, then struck my mother with a deadly intent. My defense attorney tried to establish a narrative that I loved my mother deeply, trying to make the prosecutor understand that it was a tragic accident, a moment of uncontrolled anger that resulted in an unintentional death. Throughout the trial, I looked for the man who had caused all the pain, hoping he would show up, but he never did. Instead, I heard rumors that he had moved on quickly, finding another woman to deceive. When the verdict was announced, I felt like the ground had been pulled from under me. The judge found me guilty of murder and sentenced me to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 25 years. I was led away, my mind reeling from the reality of my situation. I had lost everything. My mother, my freedom, and my sense of self. In prison, I had plenty of time to reflect on my actions and the events that led to my mother's death. I learned from my inmates that the man who had been the catalyst of all these pains had quickly found another woman. He continued his life as if nothing had happened, leaving a trail of heartbreak and destruction behind him. I let my anger destroy everything. I should have seen the truth. He played us both, and now I've lost the most important person in my life. After 16 years, I was granted parole for good behavior. Walking out of prison at 40, the exact age my mom was when I murdered her out of rage. I felt a mix of relief and trepidation as tears rolled down my cheeks. The world has changed so much, and I had to find a place in it again. I have a second chance. I need to make the most of it, to honor my mother's memory, and to find my own peace. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to rebuild my life, to learn from my past mistakes, and to seek forgiveness and redemption. In the end, I realized the destructive power of jealousy and betrayal. The man's deceit led to tragedy, but my own inability to see the truth and my misdirected anger caused an even greater loss. True freedom and peace come from within, and I can only hope to find it someday. Despite all the darkness that has overshadowed my life.
That is the gory story of Tandy, the young woman who murdered her mother. Moral of the story: look before you leap. Always remember that family is everything, no matter what. Tandy's life will never remain the same again, as she is now left alone in this lonely and mystery world.
Please subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Like and share.